Yeah, absolutely. Good way to put it. All right, last but certainly not least, at least as far as I'm concerned, he's the number 7 ranked wide receiver on the PFF big board out of Oregon. It is Troy freaking Franklin. So one of the lightest wide receivers in this class as well. Like he's lanky as hell, but man, he is exciting. Like I keep going back to his tape, and I keep finding more things to love. So to me, he stands out as another one of those wide receivers who just has such like a strong feel for the game and the field, and in how he's able to get open and optimize himself as a target. He can separate as a deep threat as well as in those intermediate areas of the field where he's, just constantly making himself like a QB friendly target by working back to the ball or feeling where a defender is and just creating that little adjustment for a little bit more space. He's also not afraid to catch those passes in the middle of the field where contact is coming in. Just despite the thinner frame, he's able to hang in there, make contested catches, or make adjustments on the ball deep downfield, which I noticed he had to do quite a bit. We touched on Bo Nix's deep ball accuracy last week and that it wasn't necessarily the best, but Franklin helps his case there by working back to the ball and fighting through contact. Not necessarily as nuanced of a route tree as someone like a Lad McConkey, for example, but it's not terrible in that he isn't just a deep threat. He's able to earn targets kind of regardless of where or regardless of what he's running on the field. And that's particularly encouraging, I found, for him as a potential number 1 wide receiver in the NFL at some point as he kind of continues to develop. And like his production profile also super positive, 89th percentile profile, just behind Rome Odunze. Career yards per route run is 2.63, which is slightly better than Odunze in the 80th percentile. 2.64 yards per route run when lined up wide, 79th percentile. 40.6% explosive play rate, 75th percentile. 5.1 career yards per route run versus single coverage is 94th percentile. And then a 45% adjusted separation rate is 92nd percentile. I love Troy Franklin. Spoilers, he's ranked fairly high for me. I think there's even some untapped potential there with him that would just make him all the more dangerous at the NFL level as well. Like if he can pack on some weight, obviously get a little stronger, I think his game and production can definitely still translate since he has such a strong feel for the game and he has some speed to spare as well. So I love Troy Franklin. I'll be curious to see where you're at with him, because I know he's not everybody's cup of tea.
I'm not nearly as high, but you made an excellent case. I mean, definitely want to see him put on a little bit of weight, 176 pounds on a 6'2" frame. He's slight.
Yeah.
Ran a 4.41 40-yard dash, which you love. He's explosive, 39-inch vertical jump. Like, I think the biggest concerns for me definitely lie in the overall frame of Troy Franklin, which again can build on, but it is a stark contrast. Even like Lad McConkey has, I think, a lot more bulk, less lanky, just overall more compact. Lad McConkey is. Troy Franklin's just he's lanky and it's hard. I mean, the good thing is like it's not necessarily a length problem. So like the length is excellent. Um, I think generally speaking, you like to see the way that he moves for the size, which again, just a very common theme in this draft class. But probably the biggest concern for me is the route tree and how limited that is. It makes me just curious, like for how excellent the production profile is. How is that going to translate in the NFL when he's asked to do a lot more? And is he ready? Like, is he ready to be asked more of? Um, it's hard for me to say, and that's probably my biggest pinch point for his production in the next level is how refined is he really? I'm not sure I feel confident enough answering that at this point.
I think that's fair. And look, yeah, like we said, it is a lot of go routes for him on tape. It's not nearly the refined route tree that I think, you're kind of hoping for from a potential first round pick either. So I definitely get it. I think just for me, kind of watching him and just seeing again that kind of feel for the game and ability to still run those routes, even though he doesn't do it often, you definitely see I think the potential for him to be able to develop there if he was asked to do it a little bit more. So I feel more confident than you, I guess, for Franklin, and that's okay. Like there's a reason that he's considered like a later first round pick at best here, as opposed to early on in the draft, and because he's not a perfect prospect, but I came away feeling very excited about Troy Franklin here, and yeah. 28th overall, the Buffalo Bills are picking. I would love to
Mm.
see Troy Franklin there. Obviously, I think they're going to trade up to potentially grab somebody a little bit earlier. Probably not too high, but I would be excited about that fit, for example.